Hi, guys. Welcome back to Scripts and Screens. This is episode 7. I'm your host, Imani Nicole.
I'm Shauna Robinson.
So, just getting into our weekly blooper, I did see that Katy Perry announced that she's leaving American Idol. And I don't even really watch American Idol anymore. So, I'm not too upset about it.
I have not seen American Idol since it was Simon, Paula, and Randy.
I was about to say Ruben Studdard, but it definitely was Randy. Ruben Studdard was a contestant. I was gonna say Simon, Paula, and Ruben.
Fun fact: he signed my T-shirt at a gas station.
Oh, Ruben Studdard did?
Yeah, I was like 11.
Oh, wow.
We were leaving a concert thing in North Carolina. He was literally at the gas station. And he signed my T-shirt.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I ran into day 20. No, I didn't. But my sister did. My sister ran into day 26 at the airport in Atlanta years ago.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day when, being famous, it wasn't I think it was way easier to run into famous people back then than it is now. And I also had seen on the internet that Jordan Sparks volunteered herself as tribute to be the next judge.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was thinking, and I'm like, I don't even know who I could see being another judge on there. I'm just thinking, because The Voice is always changing people too. But as far as American Idol, I mean, Jordan Sparks could work. I don't know the last song that she put out, but that could work. That could work.
I didn't even know she was making music still.
Yeah, she might not be. I don't even know, but she, I can see her doing it, but I don't know if she's gonna give that same energy that Katy Perry did. But I also feel of course, you can't, because Katy Perry's Katy Perry and Jordan Sparks is Jordan Sparks. Right. But I feel like Katy Perry's kind of that crazy, her expressions and everything were just super duper animated. And I don't see Jordan Sparks as a super duper animated person. Yeah, but then again, I've never seen her in that role, so maybe she would be different if she was in that kind of role.
I guess we'll see. Who else is still on there that was on there with Katy Perry?
I have no clue.
It's about to just be Jordan Sparks.
It's about to be Jordan Sparks. I wonder who else is on American Idol besides her, because I know none of the originals are on there anymore, of course, but I don't know who was on it with her, because I know they were oh, she's gonna be missed, and I don't know why she's not doing it anymore. I don't know. I know she's married to Orlando Bloom, which I think is so cute.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know they've been very kind of out there with their marriage and their relationship. Oh, Lionel Richie's on there. Yeah, it's Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan. I don't know who Luke Bryan is.
He's a country singer, I believe.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe we jazz it up and throw I don't know. Let's kind of recreate the first original cast, but their replacements. So I feel Rod Wave should be the new Randy.
What's that?
make Rod Wave the new Randy. Who would be a good Paula? Because Ice Spice doesn't really sing. Put Nicki Minaj on there. Go ahead and put Rod Wave, Nicki Minaj, and then I need one more male judge to be Lionel's. Who's a R&B singer? Man, throw Jacquees or Bryson Tiller in the mix. That would be a nice little matchup. Yeah, Bryson Tiller, Nicki Minaj, and Rod Wave. I would watch. That's what I'm saying. They need to do a little shake up, because I mean, maybe I have to wait to see who they announce, but if it's not someone that's gonna give me that je ne sais quoi, I'm not watching. So I don't know. I need a cast shake up, like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. American Idol needs a real cast shake up.
Right. The only person I got time is Jacquees. He's the only person I got availability.
Yeah, Jacquees got a lot of time. I was just listening to his ex-girlfriend make a song. What's her name? I just downloaded the song. I can't even. Oh, Dreezy.
Jeezy, yes, yes.
Yes, she made a song 'cause I guess like he has a new girl and like the girl posted something on Twitter and she was like, "Of course I'm gonna spin about a tweet." And then she had like all these stars like saying the name of her song, like Coil Ray and like all these different people to promote it.
Oh,
So
she could be a good judge, Coyle Ray.
Coil Ray would be a good
Mm-hmm.
judge.
Mm-hmm.
And that would definitely get people watching. But I feel like Coil Ray would want buku bucks. I mean, I don't
Oh
know how
yeah.
much those judges get paid, but Coil Ray would want buku, but so would Nikki. So I don't know why I'm saying that, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like Raw Wave, you could probably get for the low. Raw Wave, I feel like would hit your pockets hard. Like it wouldn't be crazy. Bryson Tiller either. Like he did just come out with a song talking about some whatever she wants, and I do
Oh,
love it. I
I
have it on.
love that song.
It
Oh
is
my
on
god.
repeat. Repeat.
Yeah. He did his big one with that.
No, literally, he really did. Because like I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't heard anything from him in a while, so it was a great
Right.
pop out song. I
For
definitely
the girls. And I feel like any song, like I think that's why Drake is so successful when you make music for the girls, something they can caption,
very
something that make
true.
them feel good, instant hit, money.
No, that's facts.
Mm.
That's facts. Because like Drake appears to some of the men too, because they'll throw a little quote in there too, which I wish they would stop. But they'll caption it too. Drake has the men. I think Drake is part of the sassy man apocalypse. I think he's definitely a big contributor.
Yeah, he's a leader.
He's a big contributor. I think he's just such an odd person. Like I don't know, like the more things that just keep coming out, like that video leak was crazy to me. I was so confused.
Yeah.
Then when I heard he leaked it himself, I'm just so confused once again. And then someone said because Meg the Stallion was saying like he got a BBL too, like so I don't know. I'm just so confused. But also like why do you care? Like to go that far to prove a point is crazy. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want I can't fade. Not that he's checking for me, but I can't fade. All right, moving into our plot and pop, let's start with the first one, One Love. This was in theaters, came out Valentine's Day. It's an hour and 47 minutes, and it's based on the life of reggae singer and songwriter Bob Marley from his rise to fame in the mid 1970s to up until his death in 1981. Now, this movie just did not do it for me. It did not do it for me at all. My main issue with the movie was the chain, like the flow and pace of it, as well as the Jamaican accents. Now, I'll give them that. The Jamaican accents were on par because I could not understand what was being said.
I
I was
literally
literally,
texted Vlad. I was like, I'm in here struggling. I need subtitles.
and I heard people laughing, and I'm like, they must be Jamaican because what are you laughing at? I missed what was said.
Right.
And that was like a good 20 to 30% of the movie. I was like, what did he just say? And I thought the acting was superb. Chef's kiss. I thought everybody did so good acting, but the way the movie was put together was not good to me. Like the flashbacks were not done well to me. Um, they didn't really expand upon anything really about him. Like I was hearing this man had like 30 kids. They showed a good maybe 5 or 8, and allegedly he had so many more than that. So many more baby mamas involved. We didn't even really see any baby mamas. We just saw the wife. That might have been the family's decision to, I guess, to not embarrass her. I don't know. She's
Right.
70. She's 77. So like, I don't really think you can embarrass a 77-year-old woman, but maybe respect. I don't know.
Right. No, I definitely agreed. I want to say the acting was top tier.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Kingsley Benadir played Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Lashana Lynch played Rita, which I love her. I think she is so pretty. Avery loves her too. She played Miss Honey on the Matilda remake. So
She that's the wife.
yeah, the wife. Yeah,
Okay, I
wife.
never seen her in anything. At least
Really?
that I noticed. Yeah.
She was
Mm-mm.
in Woman King. What else was she
I
in?
haven't seen that.
Oh,
Shame
that's
on
a good
me.
one. That's a good one. I might have to put that on your list to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, acting was top tier. And then I see our boy Michael
Was.
Ward, that was from Top Boy and was Judas, and Clarence was the one that shot Bob. So I'm like,
Mm.
he playing all these shady
I didn't
characters.
even
I'm like,
realize that.
yeah, it was the same actor. But yeah, like you said, it was great acting. That scene where Rita Lashana Lynch was in the street getting that monologue, like,
Yes.
yeah, you would. Okay, didn't do the accent, so I didn't even try
Right.
it. But she was
Bob.
going in. Yes.
Who gonna support you like me, Bob?
Right. You actually doing really good. You're doing really good. But
It's
yeah,
that part blew me though. Like I loved her monologue outside, but it was like, sir, we saw like because like they basically hinted that basically
he
there's a
was
lot of
sleeping with
infidelity.
that light skinned
Like
woman.
yeah, because she knocked on the door, but they didn't show anything. It was like just a knock, but we clearly know he was like on tour. But the thing about it was like she was just giggling and laughing with another man. No
Yeah.
touching, no anything, just giggling with another man. And this man's fuming.
But you know, that's how they do. That's how they do. That is how they do.
Like, sir, she hasn't even brushed her hair back behind her ear.
Right.
And you're fuming. Like, I was like, Bob, if you don't go sit your goofy butt down,
Right.
please.
In front of the other
Please.
women too. Like it wasn't just her. It was like her
Yeah, it
and
was a
her
whole
friend.
table of people.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was confused because he brought up something about her back home. And I wasn't sure if he was saying, you be doing you back home
Yes.
too. And then
Yeah.
she was like, you've been doing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
That's
just a
yeah.
bunch of doing you, mother.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that okay, so he was hinting at that. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure, but I was like, I think he's saying that she be doing her dirt too. But he
Mm-hmm.
started it. Not that like two wrongs make a right, but like just the audacity and of men to be like, how could like you're sitting here flirting with him, sir?
Right.
You
That's
have
how
10
they do.
kids.
That's how they do.
Yeah. And also like, okay, so when Don't Worry came out, like about a thing,
Mm-hmm.
the way the movie was set up, it made it seem like he wasn't big when that song came out.
Yeah, because he was singing it in the car to his
Yeah.
kids. So I'm like, was this an unreleased song? Like,
Yeah, I was so confused by that because to me that was like his yes, I know Exodus too,
mm-hmm.
but Don't Worry About a Thing is just like staple.
Yeah,
And
across
like they
all
were playing
cultures.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they were playing it as if like it wasn't a big thing. And then I was confused because then he was like attempting to do the peace concert after he had been shot, then like
Right.
leaves the peace concert, goes on tour in London.
The biggest thing I put when I watched this movie, I said, I am confused about the timeline of
Yeah.
events. Like, I
Yeah,
felt
me
like it was
too.
all over the place.
And you know who produced it?
I saw Brad Pitt's name was on there along
Yes, I
with the
saw
family.
Brad Pitt. Yes, Brad
Mm-hmm.
Pitt produced it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't really know how producers work in this realm. Like, do they contribute to how the film is actually made, or they just provide funding?
Most of the time, it's just funding.
Most of the time, it's just the funding.
Mm-hmm. They
Okay.
might have a say or so, but they normally hire people to do all that.
Yeah.
Especially when it's that top level, it's like I don't have time to be that involved. Here's the
Yeah.
money. I just want to make sure it comes into
Yeah.
it. But yeah.
Yeah, I love that it was a family production. Loved that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that we got to hear from his son before the movie started. Um, and I loved as I was watching the end, like all like the last name Marley kept coming up on like so their
Mm-hmm.
hands were definitely in this film.
Right.
But I don't know who the writer was. I don't know who was in the writing room, but that I feel like ruined the whole movie because like I said, the acting was top tier. I liked the vibe of it. I liked all of these things, but like you said, the timeline just wasn't adding up for me. And then even when it was showing like him as a kid, like they like I guess like the fire and like the issues with his dad was his anxiety. I don't really know.
I did notice that too. Like I remember when we watched MLK Genius, Martin Luther had that anxiety after he was attacked, and I saw
Mm,
that they brought that up too with Bob, which I'm liking that they're showing a lot of like mental health
hmm
in, I guess, quote unquote celebrities. Well, Bob is a celebrity. I guess Martin Luther King is in the category of a celebrity as well. But I
right.
did like where they showed that too. Like he had been shot, but he's at this concert and he's still seeing the boy that shot him.
Yeah, and then
So
even the wife. Okay, I can't remember correctly or
Rita,
not.
mm-hmm.
Did the wife perform at the concert after she was shot or no? I know she showed up, but was she on the
Imani,
stage with the head wrap? I can't even remember.
Imani. I wrote that down too. I was like, Rita checked herself out the hospital with a gunshot wound to the head. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Right.
Yeah, no, she had the wrap under her little beanie.
There's no way I'm singing high notes and my head is thumping. Like, how? In what world? Like, I don't know. I think maybe, and I also think that if they were going to do it like this, it shouldn't have went to theaters. I think it would have had a better luck going to like someone picking it up, like selling it to Netflix or
Mhm.
making it a series. Maybe this should have been a series because I don't like how it was all centered as him as an adult. Didn't like that either. Like yes, it did the flashbacks of how him and the wife met, but it didn't give me enough. I didn't really draw close to the character. So like no eye watering, no tears shedding, and like I feel like this was the kind of movie where that should have occurred and should have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to when I was watching it, I was trying to compare it to another movie. I'm like, all right, Ashana, they're just doing like it's an artist. It's not really a plot. Like what?
Yeah.
And the only thing I really could think of was the Temptations movie, which is long, but I love that movie. And I don't know, maybe they should have made his longer, like you said.
Yeah.
Maybe if they would
Cause
have given it, or I don't know. And then what I was confused was at the end when he got on the horse. I know his dad was a white man,
mhm.
but the man on the horse was looking kind of black.
Maybe he was a tan white man.
That's why I was like, is he dirty? Like, I don't know.
Not is he dirty, Ayo.
You
Go ahead. And I didn't
know,
know that Bob Marley's dad was black. So that was like something new that I learned
you mean what?
watching the movie. I mean, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah,
know that Bob Marley's dad was white.
yeah, I
I
didn't
had
either.
no clue about that.
Yeah,
So
I thought he was just
I
light
was
skinned.
just, and then someone was telling me that Marley, one of the kids, is
Mm-hmm.
married to, is it Lauren Hill?
They have a baby together. I think they have a
Or
baby
baby,
together.
yeah, or have a kid
Yes,
together.
they have. I think the one that's a model. Let me make sure. The one that was a model and modeled in Kanye when he had that White Lives Matter little
Oh, Lord
little
have
shirt
mercy.
thing. I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah.
her. What's her name?
Yeah. And then when I was watching it, um, I did like that he said, I like a man with ambition who wants life to have meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that Bob Marley as a kid said that to his wife
Mm-hmm.
because I think from the very beginning, Bob Marley was never about the fame really. It was just more so about like, this is what I
Mm-hmm.
like to do. Like we just get in here and kind of vibe out.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be so many of them. And I liked that aspect too. Like even when they went to the studio and they all performed, and then the guy was like, yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna work. And they were like, then Bob steps up like, hold on. And he's like, do this one. And then they were over there jumping and jamming. Like
Right.
I do feel like he is the biggest star to come out of Jamaica. And I don't know any other Jamaican
Oh yeah, I know.
artists.
Mm-mm.
And I think that is for someone who was in the 70s and here we are in 2024 with so much technology and things. I am surprised that like there's no one else that's
You know what? And I
even
think it's even
surfacing.
like Caribbean stars. Like the only other one I know of is Rihanna. Like super big out of
Hmm.
there.
Is she Jamaican though?
No, 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 no. I'm talking about Caribbean. Like she's
Oh,
a
Caribbean. Oh,
yeah,
I got you on
yeah,
that
from the
side of the.
area.
And
Mhm.
what's Burna Boy? What's he?
I think he
He's
African.
Caribbean.
I think he like some type of African.
Oh, okay, but he just like has like a London kind of accent.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, so their daughter is Celia Marley, and she was one of the models when Kanye did that fashion and he had the White Lives Matter. But yes, she's the
Oh,
daughter of Lauryn Hill and Rohan Marley, who is a football player, and she's the
okay.
granddaughter of Bob Marley. But yeah, I don't know. The man next to me was snoring, Imani, like
Really?
snoring
What time did
loud.
you go?
4 p.m. I'm like, sir, we're all bored, but damn, like,
Right. Like, get it together.
and the woman with him, like, did not hit him or nothing to wake him up. Like, he was just,
Yeah, that's crazy. Because when my dad or my mom does, I literally tap them like,
right,
look,
to
get
wake
up.
them up. But that makes me like, I really do appreciate going to the movies by myself because I was so annoyed other people were in there. I don't know why, but I was so annoyed.
No, there's something so peaceful about being in the theater and no one being in there
Hmm.
and just having your snacks. I can eat my nachos and not be like, like trying to chew slow and not crunch, and I can open the bag without it being a fiasco.
Yes.
Like there is a real piece to that. And then another thing about this movie is I forgot that there was like a wave and time and period where Rastafarian was like a huge thing.
Mhm.
Like everyone was claiming to be Rastafarian, like that was their religion, their
Is
practice.
it
They were
still like
getting,
that down there?
I don't know, like I haven't been to Jamaica in a couple years, like
Mhm.
since like maybe 2022 or 2020, and I can't remember if
And
they.
that's the reason he did not cut his toe off, right? Because it said that he could have saved himself if he would have amputated his toe, but the religion tells you
Um,
not to remove, excuse me, body parts.
Oh, no, I didn't
Mhm.
know that, but I know that they were saying that, like, the toe basically that, yeah, the toe looks bad because of the condition
Mhm.
he has. So, basically, there was no it was no cure, was no he couldn't have saved himself even if he cut that toe off, like,
Oh, okay.
it
See,
was wraps.
I
Yeah,
must have got that wrong because
yeah,
I
it
think
was a rare condition.
I thought I looked it up. Well, no, I thought they said okay. I thought they said like his toe. Someone stepped on his toe, and
Mhm.
if he hadn't had the condition, it would have just healed normally. But since he had the
Right,
condition, it wasn't going to heal. So I thought he said that they
correct.
could. No, they did say that Imani. He was like the doctor said that I can.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, but
basically,
it wouldn't have helped his condition. He would still have that condition even if he cut the toe off. The reason why
oh,
it didn't heal was because of what you just said. Because of his condition, that toe wasn't going to heal. He probably maybe didn't remove it
mm,
because of the religion, but even if he removed the toe, there was no way
mm,
to change that
that's true.
diagnosis. It was
That's true.
yeah, there was no way to change that. He had like a really rare disease. And that's why
Mm,
he was asking, like, do you know if it runs in your family? Like, it didn't have to do with the toe. The toe just didn't heal because of the
because
condition
of
he
that.
had. And he
Gotcha.
was like, I don't know what my family had. My dad was a white man. I have no clue about his family history because it's a very
We
rare
shouldn't even
disease.
gave him that option to cut the toe off then, because I was under the impression that if he would have cut the toe off like early, it would have stopped the spread. So they shouldn't even mention the toe while
Yeah, I
being
mean,
cut off.
it may have would have stopped the spread, but he still would have had that.
Right.
Yeah, there
Right.
was no he couldn't get rid of the
Mm,
diagnosis because it was skin cancer, and skin
mm,
cancer is that's like skin is your biggest organ, so it's
mm.
just yeah, it
Okay,
wasn't
that makes
yeah, but it
sense.
wasn't healing because he had like this really rare disease where normally if someone stepped on your toe, like you said, it would heal, but
Right.
because of the rare disease that he had, it didn't.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I was like, damn. But yeah, like you said, overall the acting was great. It just the pacing and the flow was off.
Yeah, it really was. And
It
just
had
the execution altogether. Like, I'm
yeah.
even just remembering like him stomping out the manager and like
Right.
nobody really showing that he was like stealing the money. Like, I didn't have any clue that he was stealing the money. And I also didn't connect that that was the guy that took 6 bullets for him in the kitchen.
I was like, because I kept saying to myself, I'm like, why these characters look alike? Because I know that man in the kitchen is dead. I just knew that man had died after those 6 bullets. So then when I
Mm,
saw him again, I'm like, this man looks just like the man in the kitchen. Or they had like the
yeah.
same skin tone and hair. I'm like, they shouldn't have done that because now I'm confused. But it
Yeah,
was
I
the
was
same man.
confused. And then I had wrote down it was like took 6 bullets. That's why he was stealing the money for the Africa show.
Hmm.
And Bob was so pissed about that because he didn't care about taking, London's money but
Right.
Africa was really precious to him. Like he had planned on moving there, living
Hmm.
there with his family. So he really wanted to do just a tribute concert there. And the
Right.
manager was like, nah, I need my piece of the pie too.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting. But and then I also wrote down about how she said he changed and he used to only have one shirt.
She said she was with him when he had that show.
When he had one shirt, I don't even want to imagine how that shirt looked.
Right. I
Because
wrote that.
Jamaica is hot.
Who? You said what?
Jamaica is hot, and you baking in that one shirt? No way.
But she still love him.
And then I meant to look up if he actually forgave the guy who shot him and if the guy who shot him actually popped up at the crib. That was another thing that confused me. Like, why is everyone just able to come in and out your crib like this when you have a whole fence and gate that it seems like people open it up? Like, I was so confused by that, and I didn't even understand the guy's motive because I didn't know if that guy was a part of one of the 2 rival gangs.
I think so.
And then I also was confused because they showed pictures of bringing the politicians together, but didn't really show like the politicians speaking and really what was causing the uproar. I don't know.
I really think this was catered toward people who knew his history already. Like,
Yeah,
I don't really know much about him, so I was going in it trying to learn something. And this
right.
was not for me to learn something. It was for me to already have a strong background in him and kind of just watch this movie.
Yeah, which they should have known we don't have that, especially because for him to be born in the 1970s, like I said, I really only knew "Don't Worry About a Thing." I knew the Jamaican, I just knew the Jamaican colors and dreads. I didn't know anything about his history at all. So like this was a chance for them to really give us that, and they didn't. And I don't know why they didn't. Like I, I don't understand that. Guess we'll never know. I don't
Mm,
know. Maybe
mm,
someone will give another crack at it. Like with Hulu doing MLK again, like there's so many people have done MLK. You know what I mean? So like it's still up for grabs. I don't know if the family will sign off rights. Hopefully they will let somebody else have a crack at it. They did the best they could with what they had.
I think if they expanded more, like you said, maybe a little series, a docu series, or
Hmm.
something more. I might. I'll look. I didn't even look to see if there was something else out there, but this was really promoted heavily,
Yeah, I
so
didn't
I was
either.
very excited to see it.
Me
And it
too.
just, and it's not the actor's fault. Like they did what they need to do, but
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
And this is one of those movies where like the commercial showed you everything. Like there was nothing. If you saw the trailer, you're good. Like
Hmm.
there was nothing that was. I mean, besides the rare skin condition that I didn't know of, the rare
Hmm.
skin cancer that he had. Um, yeah, the
Yeah.
melanoma. I don't know anything else that really.
Right.
And I guess it also makes sense that he would have that. Well, they said it was rare, so but like skin cancer, I could see because Jamaica's hot and all that sunlight. Like
And
that's
he
a
was
lot
fair
of
his
times people
skin.
get, yeah, a lot of people get skin cancer from
Mm.
a lot of like just being in the sun all the time and tanning boobs and things like that. So I'm like shocked that I'm not shocked. I mean, that seamless thing, but they said it was rare. So I guess he had a different kind of skin cancer that like isn't the common one that people get. Oh Lord. All right, moving into our next plot and pop. Go ahead, girly.
So we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and
Mm-mm.
oh wait, Judas.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that?
doing Judas and the Black
Oh,
Messiah.
all right, y'all. We doing Judas.
It's
So,
early.
and the thing is, I looked at the flow and still messed it up. Okay, so we have Judas and the Black Messiah, which I also tried to compare a little bit when I was thinking of other movies because it was a movie about a particular person.
Hmm.
So I don't want to use the word celebrity, Lucy, but a public figure, I should say.
Yeah, public figure.
So it tells the story of FBI informant William Bill O'Neill, who was played by Lakeith Stanfield, which I told you this pod is turning into a Lakeith fan page because he's literally in
Yes.
everything.
Love
Um,
him.
who is assigned to infiltrate the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party and their leader, Fred Hampton, played by Daniel Kaluuya, who I absolutely love. Also in this was Dominique Fishback, who played Deborah, who I assume is just his baby mama. I don't believe they got
They
married.
never, yeah, I think they
They
were
didn't have
engaged, but
time.
they never,
Yeah,
yeah,
shoot, it happened so fast.
it
Um,
did.
and a quote that came out was Black Panthers are the single greatest threat to our national security by J. Edgar Hoover. And they really treated them as such. And he might have, I don't want to say he was right because they were not a threat to national security, but they were a threat to white supremacism in
Hmm.
the United States. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
The acting was top tier from everybody from
Yes.
Dominique to Daniel to Lakeith. I think this is the most like emotional I've seen Lakeith, like as far as
Yes.
acting, really getting into it.
Yes.
I appreciate that from him because I love him to death. I feel like he's kind of, I don't want to say typecast, but he plays like these characters that are, well, not recently, not with Clarence, but like
Yeah.
beforehand. Like they're like,
Yeah, he did. Like Sorry to Bother You when he was doing
right.
that. That was like a interesting one.
Yeah, like a character. I feel like these characters are not his actual personality, maybe. I don't know him, but he just plays it so
Yeah.
well. Kind of like chill, monotone.
Yeah.
I'm cute when I'm weird type thing, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see him actually like I feel like acting. But I hated his
Mhm.
character the whole time. Like I just don't see how a black man could do
I
that to his
know.
people. And I see where at the end the real Bill committed suicide after his documentary
Yes, I
came out,
saw
probably
that.
because he felt so guilty.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know, Fred Hampton, the more I watch these Fred Hampton, Martin Luther King,
Mhm.
Malcolm X, like I just I don't want to say I wish I was there, but just to hear their speeches and to hear them and that energy in person
Yes.
had to have been crazy.
Yeah, because Fred Hampton was listening to a lot of Malcolm X's speeches. Like he
Yes.
was looked up to him in the way he did things. And it's so
Hmm.
crazy because growing up or like in school, they sell the Black Panther Party as like just super violent,
Of
super,
course. Of course.
you know what I mean? Like not peaceful,
Mhm.
just going and doing like very extremists. And
Yeah.
like that's not what I got from this movie at all.
Yeah,
So
no.
I'm glad there are people telling the stories, the real stories, the ones that should be put. We just need to rewrite the African American portion of the history books and let African American people write it. And then you guys can be responsible. If you guys want to keep, like, nobody said you guys had to change the Christopher Columbus narrative that you guys ran with for years. If you guys want to keep selling those false narratives, you can do that. But at least let us
Because I'm gonna
write
keep shopping the sales. I'm gonna keep shopping the sales. I'm not gonna stop.
shop in the sales.
You know, they have the
Oh,
Columbus Day
they
sales.
still do the, do they still do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I'm
And you know, if
weak.
don't nobody else do a sale, Fashion Nova will do a sale.
Oh yeah, Fashion Nova loves a sale. I had to turn off the texting. I was like, they're out of control. It was harassment at that point. I was like, this is too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. But I really liked how this one gave us kind of a background of like how like it all flowed and made sense. And you see parts and times where Bill O'Neill is feeling guilty, is kind of like I'm out, like I want out, but like then realizing like you don't really have a choice. Like the fact that you even thought that this was optional is mind-boggling. Like you can't just be done. But I feel like everybody like was getting like the bad end of the stick because the president was like doing his own things. Like when they're calling the president, like, hey, Fred Hampton's gonna be in jail, and he was like, then he like flipped it, like jail's not enough. Basically, like we need to murder this man. Like jail is not enough. And he was like saying they made someone a celebrity. Like basically, like people can still grow notoriety in prison.
It was so crazy. And then the fact that Bill was so involved, like he damn near stepped up. I mean, he wasn't doing speeches and stuff, but they were like, he basically rebuilt this place. And even after Fred died, they
Yeah,
said
when
he
it
continued to be in the party for like 10 years.
yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, when everything went up in flames, he was helping
Literally,
rebuild it.
literally.
Then the pull stick to a gunfight
Hmm.
when they went in there, and I'm like, I feel like Bill really looked up to Fred. Like I feel
Hmm.
like he really looked up to him, and the movement was getting to him. I think in the beginning he was like, kind of playing around, and he was over there like trying to hit on the women that were in the meetings, and Fred had to be like, "You can't
That's
be hitting
just,
on your
yeah.
sisters. Like these are your sisters," and
Hmm.
like having him repeat the mantras. And I do think Bill had a conscience, but it just somehow got blurred. And the only thing that I wish they would have elaborated on is because did he have kids? I couldn't understand if from the thing if they were like, what are you gonna tell your kids if he had kids or if he hadn't had kids?
I think he had kids after the fact.
Okay.
So not like
Yeah,
during the
because
time of the movie, but yeah, I think
yeah.
after the fact. And then like it just was crazy. He sat down and did an interview, and then the night of the interview, he killed himself. Because I
Yeah.
mean, he
Once
know
it once it
he
aired on TV, you can't go back. Like that's
right,
it. And the fact that they had the nerve to air it on MLK Day was crazy. Like these networks are insane. Like you guys are gonna put this man's interview up on MLK Day?
right.
Trifling. And they had a new Pledge of Allegiance. I liked that. I was like, now
Mhm.
they got a Pledge of the Black Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, it was so cute, and they were doing so much for the community. And the fact that he brought together all those people, like he went to the Klan meeting. Well, I don't know if they were considered the Klan, but it was basically a white supremacy, white people trying to elevate themselves, poor white people trying to elevate themselves. And then he got the Puerto
Mhm.
Ricans together and then like another gang. Like he really was bringing people together. And I feel like he's the only figure, even though Martin Luther King had a big following and
Mhm.
Malcolm had a big following, Fred Hampton brought people together. And he was only 21 when he died.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's
But
21 years old. I can't even imagine being that mature at his age to like your life
right.
to just be surrounded by a movement
Right. And I think I was
is
talking to, I think it might have been Vlad. I was saying like how crazy it was that he was 21. And he was like, yeah, they just could not let him get any older, any wiser. Like he was that mature, that top tier at
because
21.
he was headed to be like right behind the
Mm-hmm.
greats
Mm-hmm.
before him.
So that's probably why they had to kill him. They were like, nah, we can't even put him in jail because he just gonna read books and, and rally up more people. We gotta take him out.
And it's interesting because you had posted on your personal page, you were like, this is from Cole Arthur Riley. It says the delusion of the oppressor is to expect a person to ask nicely for the knife to be removed from their chest. The
Mm-hmm.
demand for civility and the immediacy of violence is a technique of distraction, not care.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that you posted that because I just had a thought of how like the cops were constantly picking at them while they were just minding their business. I had wrote down that one of the cops was like, "Is that Harriet Tubman?" Nah, it's just Aunt Jemima. I love the pancakes. Like the
And that's what
way,
and that's what I just didn't get about the nonviolent movement with Martin Luther King. Like he did, of course, he he did great work for us, but
he did.
I just don't understand how we could have been civil in a time where they were not civil to us. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I just never could
yeah,
get with that.
yeah, yeah. I think there's definitely a need for both because we had to play nice to get these laws passed, but then
Right.
there also has to be somebody that's like, nah, we're not gonna
Hmm.
just sit here and play the white man's game essentially
Right.
just to get bare minimum rights. And like even that shootout was crazy. Like the police are literally in their territory, like, all right, let's do it. Like they're not doing anything, but let's do it. Let's make it rain. And I'm just like, all because they wouldn't come downstairs. Come downstairs for what? On what charge? Because that guy killed a cop? Because that cop was antagonizing black people for no reason in a bakery? Like,
This stuff like this just made me so angry. Like I love to watch it to learn. I hate to watch it because it just
yeah,
makes my blood boil. It just makes my blood boil. But what I
yeah.
found interesting, I never knew that Lakeith had drugged uh Fred before he went to bed, so that really he was kind of like knocked out when he got shot. Which I hate the
Oh, I
fact that
didn't
he
know
got shot. Oh,
that.
you didn't see that part?
No,
Okay, so
I missed that.
he was at the bar and Lil Rel's character, that man that dressed like a pimp, slid him the newspaper and was like, read this, it's an article. And it was a powder in there. And he
Yeah, I
was
missed
like,
that.
oh yeah, he was very pregnant. Yeah. So Fred is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Then they left the bar and he was like, you want me to poison him? And Lil Rel character is
Oh, I
like,
did see that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And he was
yeah.
like, no, you just want him, you're just gonna put him to sleep. Like you want him to go easy, don't you? So then like they
Yeah,
were at the house and I wouldn't have took the drink because Bill was acting really weird. Like Fred was like, what's up, my brother? And he was like, I'm just gonna get another drink. Would you like one? I mean like shaking. And I was like,
yeah,
nah, I'm good. But I guess it did work out for Fred if he had to get killed. I'd rather him be
yeah.
knocked out. And the fact that his woman, wife to
Yes,
be
while
like
pregnant.
was on top of him, like trying to wake him up and like essentially like shielding him. That was crazy to me.
Yes. And the fact that he was still alive and they're like, he's still breathing. Boom.
Hmm. Yeah.
That was, and I'm so glad that like her and their son survived
Right.
because that was I just knew, I was like, oh, the baby's done. Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that she hadn't gotten shot. So I was glad that she still made it in this. They're still keeping his name going. And I also had wrote down, like Fred had a lot of good quotes. He was like, you can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder a revolution. So he's like, you guys can keep taking out the heavy hitters. It doesn't matter. We're like, you can't kill the revolution. I don't care how many people you physically kill. You can't kill a revolutionary. And I saw in this movie too, like how easy it was in that time to corrupt people with money, because not only was Bill O'Reilly an informant, but that other guy who said he killed another informant was an informant, and I didn't even realize it. The guy that like looks a little bit like Chris Brown, who was sitting on the steps, who
And
was
he
a
was cute.
security detail. Yes, he's
George
such a cutie.
Shams.
Yeah, George Sands, who was security detail for like another chapter, and is just over here like, and it was like they had so many people doing this and just taking people out in these Black Panther parties around the nation. And I'm just like, that's crazy. And they probably were offering them all this few measly bucks, but I'm sure back then, like, it was a lot of money.
And I think like it probably started all the same. Like you can get 5 years in prison, or
Right.
you can do this. And of course, they took the
Yeah.
easier way out, which
Yeah.
I think I probably would have committed suicide earlier. Like my conscience, I don't think I could have took it for that long.
Yeah. I don't know how he did it, especially in that car when they were like interrogating him real bad.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she was like, "Why that man look at you and say
Mm-hmm.
you something about the FBI because you used to use that fake FBI badge?" Which the black guy ended up like, he was like, "Show me your badge, show
Mm-hmm.
me your badge," and it was his little rinky-dink badge that he used to carry around.
Yeah.
And I was, that was, I thought that he was gonna like it was gonna kind of come out then. Like I just think it is crazy that he got to go through all of that and nobody like they picked up on it that one time and they just let it rock basically like.
Right. I think
But
because
then
of his
again,
involvement, he
yeah, I was
really
gonna
suffered.
say, yeah, that's what made it be like he can't possibly be with them, and but that also makes perfect sense for him to be with them. Like, I'm gonna clean up, I'm gonna do all these things, and there's no way y'all can think that I have anything to do with it. But that would be the thing to do. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and didn't he win a Oscar, Daniel Kaluuya, for this film? I think he did, or the film did. Something won. I think he did. Lakeith, I don't think did, but I think Daniel Kaluuya did though. And it's just so crazy to me that the president was saying that the Black Panther Party was looked at as a bigger threat than Russia. Can you imagine the color of your skin being a bigger threat to your own nation than like a foreign country? It's crazy.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so Daniel Kaluuya won Best Supporting Actor
Okay.
in 2021 for Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
So, they had Lakeith
Lakeith
was
was nominated
nominated
too, but
for
he didn't
best,
win.
yeah, for Best Supporting Actress. They both were supporting. I guess they couldn't make one lead over the other,
Yeah.
so they were in the running for the same award for the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nominated
And
for
that
Best
was the
Picture and
and that
Best
was the
Screenplay.
award ceremony where I realized like Keith was a little different because like I think you talked about this earlier, like he plays these roles, like I think he's acting here, but
Mm-hmm.
then there's like other roles like Atlanta where his hair is blonde, which I think is like his, I don't know if that's his identity or not, because he had black nails. I remember that vividly to this day, watching the Oscars and being like, not that black men can't have their nails painted, but it's not a thing for me. I'm not into
Yeah,
that. But it just threw me off because I guess I like, made the character his aura. So like when he did Get Out and other things I had seen him in, I just did not think black fingernail. Like he wasn't giving me black rocker,
yeah,
like rock star lifestyle. So I was so
yeah,
confused when I'm looking at the Oscars and I'm like, he has bleached blonde hair and black nails. What is
yeah.
going on here?
I really do think his character Darius in Atlanta probably is the closest thing to his personality. Like I don't
Yeah.
think. Well, I don't know if Darius is slow. Darius is just weird. Like he gives like I'm high all the time, but
Yeah.
it's probably like he for real. Same aesthetic, same everything.
Yeah. I think he probably dressed like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Childish is like, just show up the set and look, let's just rock, let's just flow with this here we get today. Like,
Right, right.
just give me what you got.
But yes, this is a great
And
movie. Go
I
ahead.
also was wondering if Bill O'Reilly really owned, or Bill O'Reilly, oh my God. Bill O'Neill owned that gas station because they gave him a gas station and the money. So I wonder if he like passed that down to his kids or what. Because now that was a good investment because you can make a lot of money off a gas station. So I
Especially
wondered
black owned.
about that.
He would get all the black clientele.
And then I also wrote down that the police raid shot 99 shots, and the Black Panthers only shot 17.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sorry, shot one. Oh my God,
Yeah,
I messed
one.
up. They shot one and 7 survivors faced attempted murder. The police shot 99 times, they shot one time, and 7 surviving members were up for attempted murder. That is insane.
It makes me so angry.
Yeah.
Because I know they say ignorance is bliss, but I hate to be ignorant. But when I just learn the stuff, it makes me angry.
Yeah, it does. Like when I'm watching it, I like literally I'm like, this is crazy. And I shake my head and I am literally mad. And I'm glad it's a fleeting feeling because it's just, it's a good thing that it's a fleeting feeling for a lot of African Americans that like, even though there's still oppression going on today, we still handle it in such a nonviolent way. And
Yeah, we
we just
got
keep
to.
hoping. Yeah, we just keep hoping that, and it's like things haven't really gotten better. They've just changed. So it's like, instead of it being like leaders that they're taking out, they'll just take you out over a traffic light at a stop. Like it's like the same things are happening, but in a different way. And I had also wrote down, I was really happy that they sued, that Fred Hampton's mom sued once he died. And I can't believe that the trial went on for 12 years. They said at the time it was the longest civil trial history in US history. And they ended up getting 1.85 million. So I was glad. They definitely deserve way more than
Oh
that.
yeah.
But I'm glad that they at least got that. But I wonder like how much they even ended up getting after 12 years of having to have a lawyer and paying for like hopefully someone just, volunteered to do it and they like just ended up giving that person a nice little because you can't really give them $1 million because they only got 1.85. So hopefully, but like I'm like 12 years. Can you imagine lawyer fees in this day and age for 12 years to have your lawyer? 12 years a lawyer is crazy. 12 years a case is insane.
Hmm. But yeah, I think Bob Marley's people could take a note or two from this, which they should have because this came out in 2021 and their movie just came out. But it's just, I don't know. I guess it wasn't like it had a plot either, and it wasn't like it showed his whole life. It really only
Yeah, it
showed a
didn't
portion.
focus on a time period of when there was an informant. Yep.
Right, but still, it still did a lot more for me than this Bob Marley movie.
Bob Marley was like, I think what they should have promoted it was is like, come see the concert in theaters. You'll see him perform some of his major hits. And it's like you're gonna be on tour with him. Like it was like a tour documentary, like how Taylor Swift and J Lo and them, and they have these documentaries where they're showing them performing and a little dabble about their life. That's what it should have been like a tribute concert film.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing his greatest hits. Come
Yeah.
join us. Come join us on Valentine's Day to listen to some of Bob Marley's greatest hits. That's what they should have. It shouldn't have been advertised as a film. It should have been. It should not have been advertised as a biopic. It was not a biopic.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
Yeah. But yeah, like I wasn't there and I was like, I'm bored, but that man snoring, it solidified me. But I was not bored at all. This was an even longer movie than Bob, but
Mm-hmm.
this kept me engaged
Me too.
from the
Me
beginning to the
too.
end. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that Dane Cool won that award because he
Me too.
definitely deserved it.
He
Again, another
did.
British accent eating up an American accent.
Eating it up.
I don't know how they do it,
It's
but
Thanksgiving for them when they have to do a American
mm-hmm.
movie.
They're like, yep.
Right.
So yeah, Lakeith, Daniel, Dominique. I might watch Swarm. That's the only other thing. Oh, she was also in a
Oh, the
film.
wife is the main girl in Swarm.
Yes, ma'am.
I just put that together.
Yes,
Swarm
ma'am.
was too weird for me, so I'll pass on that.
Really?
Yeah, it's super weird. I could
Mm.
not get into it. I think I watched up to like episode 4, which is crazy because I love me some CB, which we are
Mm-hmm.
going to get into very shortly because it's a newfound love. This has not always been here. I love CB, but that Swarm was a little bit too far for me, a little bit too weird because I'm not into like fandom of like being so obsessed with somebody that like
Oh, you mean
you're going to
CG, Childish
extremes.
Gambino?
Yes,
Okay.
CB.
Well, you said CB, Childish Gambino, CG.
CG. What did I say? CB like Chris
CB.
Brown?
Yes.
I meant CG. Y'all, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I've been up since 4:45.
Okay.
And I tried to go to bed early, woke up in the middle of the night, was up for an hour. And so I'm a little razzle dazzle
Yeah,
frazzle.
it's okay. But yes, Childish Gambino is a main character in our next Plot and Pop, which we did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and we did both the book. Oh Lord, not the book. It's early. Damn. We did the movie and the show. So overall, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a show about a spy couple. That's the only similarity I feel like they have. Because I was thinking it was going to be like a spinoff and I know how I was going to feel about it, but they're both spy couples, but how they got together was completely different.
Really different.
Yes. So in the movie, Angelina Jolie played Jane Smith and Brad Pitt played John Smith. And then in the show, Donald Glover, aka Josh Gambino, played John Smith. And
Hmm.
then Maya Erskine, is that how you say her name? She
I think
played
so.
Jane Smith.
Hmm.
Which one did you prefer?
The show, the show, the show, the show.
Really?
Rewatching the movie, I was like, we gave this way too much credit.
But it was 2005.
I don't care. I still watch movies from like back then and I love them, like drive me crazy. Like House of Wax still hits. Like, I don't know. I still like old movies, but like, I think we gave that a lot more credit than we should have.
Really? I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's not, oh, really? No, I was
Mhm.
like, oh my God. I was like, oh, I'm over it. Like, I'm good off this being, I'm ready for this to be over.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why I enjoyed it so much. I think I enjoyed it because I liked Brad and Angelina's chemistry better. And I don't know if I like that better because I know that they're together for real. Does that make sense?
Well, they
Like
weren't though at the time. So
at the
like,
time, right. But like
yeah. So
it's like
I
looking
don't know.
back.
You said that, but I think that Jane and John in the show had great chemistry. I'm like really shocked that you're
Yeah.
saying that.
And I think they just, and then Angelina and Brad were such a good looking couple. Like, just if I knew nothing else about them and they walked into a restaurant, I'm like, oh, damn, they look good. Versus, I would never see.
I feel like opposite. I feel like you don't really see the good, like the two like 10 out of 10s together walking in. I feel like we see more of these kind of uniquely placed couples
Really.
in this interracial world where interracial marriage is at an all-time high. Yes, I feel like I could go to the mall right now and I will see a Black and Asian couple walking hand in hand and they'll have similar aesthetics to the two of them.
Yes. No, I just like literally when I tell you I was cringing. Okay, the chemistry did pick up. I put down on the fourth episode. That's
Yeah.
when they, but that first, when he kept like bringing up sex with her and she was like, no, I'm good. Like I was cringing. Like I just,
Really? Okay,
yeah.
see, I wasn't because I felt like she was like wanted to but didn't want to. Like I felt like she was like, should we? Like kind of wanted him to take like a dominant male lead on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just felt like he wanted to. He was honest about that because he's a man. She was like, we shouldn't because for her, I feel like for women in general, not all the time, but we're more emotionally driven when it comes to sex. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt like after they were forced to kiss and act like dogs, she
This was,
realized like, wait, he turns me on and I actually like am into this and want
mm-hmm.
him.
Right.
So then like I felt like in the beginning the chemistry was weird, but then like after that dog scene, I
Oh
felt
yeah,
like
it
it
definitely grew.
was
Yes.
it was on and popping and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I liked their relationship and like the issues that they were having in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. And oh, I guess did I say the difference? Okay, so the main difference between the two kind of setups was Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were both spies when they met, and they met in
They were in a foreign
Colombia.
country.
Yeah, and they pretended to be married so that the cops wouldn't pick them up. I'm not sure if which one of them killed the target, but apparently some man had been killed and they were looking for single people, so they linked up. So they did not know that each other were spies. So they were living in a house together for 6 years with these secret lives. Versus
Mm-hmm.
Donald Glover and Maya, they signed up to be married and spies. So they came into the situation knowing, okay, that person's a spy, they're my partner, and they worked for the same company. So
Which was
that was
interesting because
right.
part of me thought that maybe it was a setup and that one of them wasn't like that they were gonna ultimately like the target was one of them and it was a spot
Mm,
like a setup for them to take out each other. But then I realized, okay, that theory was completely wrong. But
mm-hmm,
I liked how it was like, okay, we're gonna bring you into a room and have you answer questions.
mm-hmm,
And I didn't know, I mean, they didn't show this, but I was thinking that it was gonna be like a new way that lie detector tests are going to be done is where you'll be in a room and
Right.
it'll measure like your heart rate, your
Mm,
instead of it being like the person in there asking you questions, you're reading a screen and you're
mhm,
able to kind of just be in there alone and answer it to
mhm.
the truth.
Right.
Um, but I think that we see that that necessarily maybe wasn't the case because he said he could do without his mother, but was calling her 3 times a day.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
she said she could do without her family, and she meant it because she was not on speaking terms with her dad.
Mhm. Yeah. That was and then they had them put their fingernail clippings in there, that was so weird. Um, I don't know, like, what I found very ironic too was the fact that Jane was emasculating towards him, which is funny because, they always say, like, black men date outside their race for a more submissive woman, and even when he was, like, at that round table with the guys,
Yes,
um, which also I thought was interesting because I feel like that was kinda like a culture thing, and
me
she was
too.
getting offended, but it's like, okay, it's just a black man with other black men, that's how they talk, he has to fit in and act a
Yeah, but I
certain
do
way.
think he took it a little far with making the jokes about the Asian jokes. When you know your wife's listening, you could have made a
True.
joke maybe about white people, about Spanish people, but you went for the Asian joke, knowing she's
True.
listening in on the conversation, knowing she's
True.
a reactive person, knowing she reads
Mhm.
into everything.
Yeah,
But I
no.
agree that they were just like him talking about other women shouldn't have been like she way over read into that. But I did
Right.
understand why like as because she kept trying to act like that was it, but I don't think that was really it. It was one of those things where like she does that where she brings up things, but the real root was him calling her outside of her, like calling her Chinese, but she's really Korean, or
Mhm.
it might have been flip flop. But
Yeah,
I felt like that's where the root of her issue came from.
right. So, yeah, so she was very emasculating, which again, that's what they say, the reason why black men date outside their race, but she was like the whole movie, like she was making decisions or she was
Think
in her
so?
bed.
I feel like in the beginning
Yeah.
he took lead. Like when he was like bumping to her with the box. Like I feel like in the beginning it was him, and I feel like that's what he talked about in therapy. Like she used to look up to me. She used to like look to me like, what should we do? I
Mhm.
think in the first mission, like the first 2 missions, it was like his lead. Like because remember he was the one that was like, I'm not gonna go into the thing with you. I'm gonna be a patron. So I
True.
feel like in the
True, true.
beginning, like he was more of that
Mhm.
masculine figure, and I feel like that's why I feel like I resonate with her, because I feel like because it's not in your face, it's very subtle. People are looking at the now and then making it seem like it had always been that way when it
Mhm.
hadn't. Like she did look up to him. She did let him do it, and then he kept like it worked out in the beginning, but then he kept gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know if she let him do that because they were just meeting and her real personality hadn't come out.
Okay.
Because, like, all right, this is our first mission. I ain't gonna ruffle your
Yeah.
feathers too much. So,
Your
because you're right,
representative.
right. So, you're right in the first mission, which was, but then again, wasn't she would have stayed and they would have been blown up that first mission too when they delivered the cake. And she was, the lady
Mm,
was like, stay for a drink. And she was like, yeah. And he's like, nah, we gotta go. And then as
yeah.
soon as they're outside the house, like,
Boom. Yeah. So I feel like in the beginning, he was the one like kind of saying, this is how we're going to do this, how we're going to go after it. And it was
hmm
working. And I
hmm
think once it stopped working,
then
it,
she was like, yeah.
yeah.
And they did start to favor her too. Hi, hi, or whatever
Yeah,
the
they did.
supervisor.
Hi, hi. Yeah, they
They
did.
they did start to favor her.
They did. And then one of the other similarities was that they both were going to like couples counseling,
Yes,
because it
I did
starts
see that.
off with like Brad and Angelina doing counseling, and then it shows them like towards basically counseling starts after he says, do you want a new husband?
Yes.
Which I think she should have brought to his attention. That I didn't like that she was keeping what Hi was saying from him. I
Mhm.
didn't like that until it came to the point where they're like, "Do you want to replace?" Then she's like, okay, let me say something to him, and like, girl, you should have been saying it, because now you're just coming off sneaky because you're not being honest.
And then another similarity is when they both asked the question in the movie and the show, "What did you
Hmm.
think when you first saw me?" And Angelina Jolie said to Brad Pitt, "You were the most beautiful mark I've ever seen." And then, uh, what did Maya say? She didn't say those exact words, but like something along the same lines. And then Brad Pitt says, "After I kill you, I'm going to burn all your stuff." And I believe Maya says that exact same line. to
Oh, really?
Childish. Yeah, after I kill you, I'm gonna burn all your stuff. Or I'm gonna,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Brad Pitt says, my mom told me this. After I kill you, I'm gonna burn everything I bought you. But Maya says to Childish Gambino's character, after I kill you, I'm gonna burn all your stuff.
Yeah.
But Sarah Paulson, I love her. She was their therapist.
Yes, I loved her too.
What else did I write down? Oh, in episode 6, when John read Jane like a book when he brought up her mom. If
Yes.
he went in, my mom was in the other room. She came in. She was like, "Now, why does she think she could bring up his mom and he not tear into her like that?" But
Right.
I feel like I don't know.
She
Maybe
was
it's
she was
just
very passive aggressive,
yes, yes.
like not saying anything, holding on to stuff, and then all of a sudden just like saying all these little things. Like,
We're obsessed
girl,
with your mom. What? I mean, he did have a. He was a little obsessed with
he
mom.
was. But after I met the mom, I'm like, oh, like
Yeah,
I definitely feel
yeah,
like if they would have met the parents and like Jane expressed how she felt, the mom would, if they worked together as a couple and looked at it like this is my mother-in-law and found her a home, found her somewhere to be safe, came up with a schedule where it's like, okay, we're gonna go make
mm-hmm.
sure she's good. Like, cause I think the main thing was him just making sure she was straight because she didn't have her
Nobody
husband
else. Yeah,
anymore. So
right,
just making sure she's not lonely, but like easily if like her life was acclimated in New York, because she moved to New York after they were like basically
right,
separated. So I feel like if she would have had a life acclimated, because she wasn't like disabled. It wasn't like she wasn't a very flowing
right.
woman. She's still cooking, she's still talking, like she's still
Mm-hmm.
walking and getting around. She
Popping
could have
up in their
easily,
house, like.
yeah, she could have easily joined a club, had some friends, and not
Mm-hmm.
been so in their life.
Right. But yeah, he ripped into her, and I think people are lot more forgiving than I am because if anybody said any of that to me, you ain't gonna speak to me ever again. Yeah, if
Really?
he would have had that little monologue and I'm just sitting there looking dumb, no, that's the last time he see me. But yeah, towards the end, I really felt like, of course, like you said, the chemistry came. But at first, I was like, oh nah, I do not like them together. But by
Yeah.
the time the end episode and the way it ended, like you don't know what happened. Did John die? Did
Yeah,
Jane
we
get
don't
shot? Which
know.
Jane
But
got shot?
I know there's going to be a season 2 because when I was reading, it said it was like one of Amazon's biggest debuts. So
Mm,
I think that it'll get a season 2. So we'll definitely get those answers, which I love.
yeah.
Um, I think that she did get shot, but I think they both get to the hospital.
See, and I'm trying to figure out if that is the case or not, or because like he was just dying. So I'm like, are they gonna kill them all and then give two new John and James? Like, how is this gonna work? But I would
I
hope that they made
think,
it to the
yeah,
hospital.
I think what it's gonna be is that like Hi is gonna be like basically, oh, I underestimated you. You guys took out my best too, so you guys are now gonna be the new
Mm,
John and Jane that take out other John and Jane Smiths. Like I think
mm,
they're gonna take over the role of them,
got
which
you.
would be a way easy. It's crazy that that's like the high level because the other things were just so much more riskier. Like just going and killing two people is, I feel like, so much easier than like when they took on the mission for the other people that they claimed was. But I knew there was something up with them because I felt like they were gonna try to kill them when they came over for dinner. Even though they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna have you guys do the mission with us and see what high level is." I thought that they were gonna kill them then. Like I didn't think that was a real John and Jane. I'm like, oh, they're giving all this information. They done messed up. Then I gave all this information to this random guy. Because when the guy was like, "Oh, we've never missed," where he was like, "We only have 3 tries." Like, "Oh, we've never." I'm like, "Oh, how he's never in all these years he's been doing it." And you got a new like that wasn't your first Jane. So it was like, did you fail with the other Jane and then
So
not
I was
work
like,
like
did they think
so
she died? And that's what I was trying to figure out what happened to the other Jane. Like,
yeah. Like what the story was behind how he ended up getting a new Jane.
mm-hmm.
And part of me thought the Jane that was with Childish Gambino was gonna ask for a new John.
I got some too.
I was like,
That's so too.
she's over it.
Yeah.
She's over it.
And he was really Bev. Like I know she was another spy. I didn't realize that was a mission. I thought he really was cheating. And
Yeah, me
then,
too. I didn't
mm,
realize it either. I thought he really was like,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen her show. What's her name? Michelle Cole. I don't know if you say her. That's how you say her name.
I've never seen it. I've never
Oh
seen her before.
shoot! Oh really? She
Hmm.
had this show. I think it was on HBO Max. It's like she's date raped.
Oh,
And she's trying to
no.
figure out what happened. She's like in London and she parties, and I think they put something in her
Oh,
drink, and she wakes up like missing stuff. So the whole season is her trying to basically piece together what happened the night of her assault.
the night that she got drugged.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it, or you said you just like seeing the
I started
trailer?
it. I
You
started it,
started
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't
Is
finish
it
it.
good?
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know why I didn't finish, but I'll have to go revisit.
Yeah. I liked it though. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you liked the movie better, but I like the show
No,
better.
okay, so they were just different. Like I started off liking the movie better because I had not seen this since I was a child. I think I
Right.
said 2005, but I just might have pulled that out of my tail because I don't remember when this came out.
I think it
But
wasn't somewhere near there.
yeah, I think it was something like that. But I don't know, it was just different. I'm glad that it wasn't the same type, like they didn't know each other was spies. Like, because I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that. But they did a good spin on it that it was
they
still close
did.
enough. I think they did. It was a really good job the way they did it.
They did. They did.
Mhm.
I really liked it. I'm excited for season two.
Yes.
I
And
think
he
they
was
touched on
looking
like a lot of
good.
he was like the gold chain shirtless. I'm
Mhm.
like relax.
Mhm.
Relax, Donald. But I think he's so cute. Like I find him to be so attractive now. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I've always loved him. Like 3005 was my song in high
Oh
school.
yeah.
Like on
Yeah.
repeat, loved it.
Yes.
Trying to find the guy that I'm gonna love till 3005. Haven't found him yet. But like I love Childish Gambino like as an artist, but like after and he's such a good actor. Like
Mhm.
I really liked him in this, and I feel like the way he was in this is how he would be in a relationship. And I don't know, like I liked the way he deals with things in here. Like, and I also liked how like they would get onto each other, but they would realize it like ultimately at the end it's like they love each other. Like, okay, he thought that she slept with somebody for a mission. She lied and said two times when she really didn't. He said that he just did this, but he didn't actually do any of that. Like they really did respect each other and not mess with other people. And like I think that's like so cute. Like I like the dynamic. Like even that scene where she read him, like I also like that it was like I can read your ass, but we still finna hop in this tent and go to bed. And I feel like that's what marriage is. Like you're gonna say some really nasty stuff to each other sometimes. Cause like when I mean, they were only together, I don't think even a year, but like I feel like after 27 years of dealing with somebody's, like your mother-in-law or your father-in-law, and you just are at wit's end and you just are like, look,
He's
I'll
on.
let this slide. Your mom been doing it for years and I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of how you still act like her little kid, even though we're in this marriage. Like, I know you're probably gonna say some things to your husband and you're gonna say some things to your wife. And I don't know, I like the way they depicted relationships in the film. And I also resonated with it because I don't know if I think I did tell you this, but remember I told you how a guy told me that I'm like a robot. And like he used to tell Jane she's a robot,
Right.
like that she doesn't have emotions. And I've had like two guys tell me that, like one that I actually was dating, and then one that like I never dated. I've been on a date with, but like never, like it was one and done with the like date. We went out to dinner one time, and like we're still cool though. Like we'll talk on the phone, and I'll like ask him about his like the girls he's talking to and stuff.
Mhm.
And I just think he's so emotionally driven, and I don't know, I'm just not like that. Or maybe like I haven't found that. Like I think sometimes people are too easily emotionally driven with everybody, if that
Right.
makes sense. Like it doesn't matter who it is, you're just an emotional man and like you're gonna be petty and have very emotional tendencies because that's just who you are. Where like I'm not reactive. Like even if you do something, like I'm not going to react in the moment. I've never had a situation where I react in the moment, not to like an extreme.
Right.
Like my first instinct will be to like probably shut down first and deal with it by myself and see how I want to go with it before I come to you with it. Like even if I know something, like I would be that type. Like if I find out that my man is cheating or something like that, I'm probably not even gonna. I'm gonna think about how should I go about it. I'm not gonna just come in bursting through the door.
Mhm.
I'm gonna like kind of put things together.
Right.
Like I'm gonna try to like kind of level that together and get my
Mhm.
mind together. But yeah, like I don't know, like I really liked Jane. I feel like I don't know, like I feel like I don't know, like I felt like I resonated with Jane. So maybe I
Yeah,
am a
maybe
little bit of a robot. I don't
maybe that's
know.
why you liked her because you felt like you resonate with her. But it's like it's kind of hard for me to see that because you're my friend. Like I've never seen you on a romantic side.
Yeah,
So maybe you are emotional, unemotional with these niggas. I don't know.
yeah. Well, you kind of did see it in Miami.
No, Imani, you was emotional.
See? That's what I'm saying. You've seen it.
Like, I know I've seen you. Oh yeah, I did. So I think you're emotional because you
Okay.
care. You
Yeah, I
care.
be caring, but I think that like people look for a more emotional care than like what I do. Like, cause like me, I'm not tears. Like, remember I was like, I want to cry, but I
Yes.
just can't.
Okay, I think that's what I was going to say. I think you just don't express it the same way. Like, because
Yeah.
I was in the room with you. You know, I was there on the trip with you, but on the
Hmm.
other end, he can't see any of that. So to
Yeah.
him, it's like, oh, she ain't got no emotion. She don't care. But I'm
Yeah.
physically looking at you like, nah, she cares. So
Yeah. And
that
like
must
I'm
be
not the
it.
type that's gonna beg and like you write yup to a text. I'm not saying anything else. Like,
Yeah.
for me, that was it. Like I wasn't gonna say anything else. And then of course, he sent the DM. And I'm like, you saying yup to a text and then like continuing our conversation via DM as if nothing happened is crazy.
They're insane. I don't know why I love
But
them, but they're insane.
yeah, they
They're
are. But like
insane.
it takes a lot for me to cry. So like when I'm like at an emotional level of crying,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna say like crying about the situation because I think that that's a normal thing to do in private. But like if I'm to the point where I'm crying about the person and the loss, which I feel like I've only done once
Mhm.
in my whole life, like definitely I've had my heart broken, but it's circumstance, not the person. It's just like it didn't matter who this was. Like we've developed a relationship, we've shared, like we've been vulnerable with each other. That was just bound to happen. But as far as like one person, like actual emotionally attachment to the person itself, like it doesn't matter. I can change. I can't change the person. It's only one
Right.
that like really had me like can't eat, can't sleep, tossing and turning. Okay, and like not wanting to talk to the person. Like a lot of times, I feel like I will still communicate with people after you've ended, or like if you're like they're circling back, but like I've only told one person, like literally, you have to stop texting me because I cannot move on or get over this if you're still texting me. And then that also would be because like he broke up with me too. And a lot of times I feel like other times it's well, that was like my last official boyfriend though too. Like a lot of times it's been a lot of situationships. So like to me, those don't really count as relationships. Like I know sometimes they can go longer than an actual relationship, but like there is a difference to me. And that's why I do feel like when people are like, oh, there's no difference, like when you're with someone for 10 years versus like being in a marriage, like there is a different kind of obligation that comes with it. Like, so I don't agree with that. Like it may hurt more because you feel like you've invested more time. I can understand how it could hurt more, but to me, it's not has an importance because there's an obligation. Like there's not an obligation to me in a partnership where we don't have any, like we're not being intentional about it. We're just like we can remain at this level, this pace for 20 years, and I'm cool with that. Where it's like you're literally in a relationship where there's things on the line, there's risks. So yeah, I don't know. That's so yeah, I resonated with Jane because she's a hard nut to crack emotionally. Like she's a hard nut to crack.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's me. So I really liked Jane because I guess I feel like I'm Jane. And I feel
Yeah.
like people have told me like the things that Childish Gambino was saying to her, I feel like people have said to me. And, not the boyfriend, but other people have felt
Right.
that way. Like, oh, you're not emotional, you're a robot. And, right,
For those of you all listening, she hit the robot.
right. Those who listen and don't tune in, I did the robot
Like
to,
I be hoping they just be listening because it'd be early and I just be on here looking crazy. But
That's okay. I think we need to promote more naturalness anyways. Like I've been in like this new phase where I'm like I haven't got my eyelashes, but I think I'm just gonna let them all fall out.
really, I haven't seen
Yeah, I'm gonna
anybody
let them
without
just
lashes in
I'm
forever.
right. I'm gonna let them just shed out. Like there's like a like they're barely there. I mean they're
Mhm.
still giving like a natural little something,
Yeah, it's
but
cute.
I'm gonna let them all fall out. I think I'm gonna like do castor oil on my lashes, really get them nice and healthy. Not saying I won't ever do lash extensions again, but like I'm gonna do that. And then I'm thinking about like even starting to rock my hair more. I don't know. 30's doing something to me.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like
It's
a lot of
smart
times we add all these things to
that we don't
ourselves.
need.
We don't need it. And
Yeah.
then it like causes all of this extra comparison and commotion.
Mhm.
And like you just don't need it.
Mhm.
And I'm soaking my nails off. I just bought a kit to soak these nails off.
Oh.
But these are mine though. So like these are my nails. See, this one's
Um.
broken. These are my own nails, but I put the acrylic overlay over my own nails so that I make it hard and then I just get them painted. But Yeah, I'm about to take them off and just kind of do like 2 months of just a natch kind of thing. Like I'm about to start working out, but that's what makes it hard to me to do the natural hair and working out. Do
Oh,
you do
yeah.
you work out, Shawnee?
I do not.
See, and that's like my biggest thing is
But
like it's so much easier
yeah,
to work out when you have braids or a weave and a
yeah.
closure. Like it's just way easier to
Because
get
that
those things
silk
done.
press, it don't do it. Don't even try. You're just gonna waste
Yeah.
your money.
And that's why I'm like, I gotta figure it out. So for 2 months, I'm gonna keep what I got going on, let my lashes shed out,
Hmm.
take these nails off.
I'm
My skin's
excited.
been like doing great, so we're gonna just
Yeah.
keep the skin going. Cause I don't wear makeup to work, but
Hmm.
I do like on the weekends if I'm going out. But like I'm just gonna really get to like making sure that I'm 100% comfortable with me. Cause I was having this conversation with Key. Like, do you remember? You know Kiera,
Hmm.
and like she was basically just saying like I can't be like with the person that I'm ready to be with yet until like I'm good with me. And she was like, I want to love my body. I don't want a man to like be comfortable with my body and encourage me to love my own body. Like she's like, I want to get to the point where I'm at that I love my body and I'm ready to go. And I'm like,
Same.
yeah, I'm like in that same mindset because like, I'm not dating at all right now. But I'm also not like I'm not dating, but I'm not dating right now. Like, because I'm just like I don't want to get in a relationship and then become the girlfriend. Like I want to be the girlfriend, the wife, the fiance
Right.
before I'm those things. So there's so many things that I have to do at a home
Right.
standpoint first. Like I want to get my fridge organized. I want to have a bin for everything. I want my closet organized. I want my whole house like to be like a hotel. Everything has a place. Everything is, and I feel like I'll exude that more. And then, I'm getting my birthday present for my Dirty 30. You will see that soon. And like, I just feel like I got to move a little different.
Why I feel like it's a car.
It
Oh,
is.
it is.
And when you see her, I'm
Oh,
gonna go
let's
from
go
I'm still a
back.
Honda hottie at heart, but when you see the new whip,
It's so funny, and I'm gonna leave it alone after this. But like, just to see how, because like I've known you for it's been at least 10 years, but
yeah,
like how I've seen transition because like I know it was a point in time I would not go to class. I barely went to class anyway, but you would not see me in class without bundles, some foundation,
yep,
10 layers of mascara, like,
yep, me too.
and
I would wake
now
up early.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care. And people, like I was having a conversation yesterday. It was actually with a woman. She was a lesbian, and a guy. We were sitting together, and they're like, "We appreciate the bare face because we already know what we're waking up to." Like
Mm-hmm.
I look at you and I think you're cute. I think you're beautiful, and you're just bare face just like that. So I know when you put it on, you put it on like it's a plus. And then
Yeah.
like even when it comes to you in this car, I remember us riding around in my little car.
Bumblebee. My parents and my sister, like, they just associate the yellow car with you. They're like, yo, we'll never forget shining that damn yellow car. I'm like, I know Bumblebee. We love Bumblebee.
I
Bumblebee.
got y'all were calling her Bumblebee. Her name was Buttercup. But you know what? I should have just kept Buttercup because Buttercup is still riding to this day, and I've had more trouble with my actual car.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
yes,
I never knew you got rid of it. You sold it or
I
you
sold
just
it. I sold it
oh, you
and
should
bought
have
my
kept
new
it. Because
car.
even when
Yeah,
I get my new car, I'm keeping my Honda. I'm still a Honda
girl,
hottie.
I got my new car. I knew my new car was like 25,000 miles, and I sold Buttercup for $1,500 in 2020. And why she's still driving? She's
You should have.
2005. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what I said. I'm going to keep my Honda because I'm going to do a lot of wear and tear on that. Because the
right.
car that I'm about to get, I wouldn't drive to work because, like, I'm
Mm.
not leaving
I'm
my car in a
excited to
parking
see
lot.
it.
I'm not leaving this car, customized 2024 car, in a parking lot for 10 hours. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah,
So it's just like, yeah, I'm going to definitely keep my Honda for
yeah,
sure. And like, I have one of my coworkers like, let me buy it off of you. I'm like, unless you can buy another Honda that I literally would have to buy cash,
right.
I'm not selling my Honda because I paid for my Honda cash. And like the biggest thing is like because my dad's been coming with me to like the dealership and making the deals and helping me and like getting money knocked off of it and stuff like four
Okay.
grand. Yeah. Is that like I played the like safe route. Like when a lot of my classmates graduated, that was like the first thing they did was like they bought their cars.
Mm.
And I kind of was like, no, I want to buy my house first. So like that was my main thing was getting the home.
That
And
was really
then
smart of you.
my dad's car gave out.
Mm.
Well, I thought it gave out, but we lived too far apart for me to keep having issues on the side of the road as a woman, a single woman by herself, living in a new state. So I was like, Dad, I can't keep doing this. So find me another Honda. He found me another Honda. I paid cash for that Honda. And that's what I've been riding ever since. So I'm just like, now's the time to kind of spoil myself. Like I've played it safe. I've done what I needed to do. I'm turning 30. I've never did like the big purchase for myself. Like, yes, I bought my house and I got my couch set, my lovely
Mm.
couch set. And that was like almost $4,000 for the couch set. But like, to me, that's still something that I had to have regardless. Like, I had to have a couch, but I'm ready to like have something that like I really wanted, you know, and like nothing that I have to like compromise on. Like, this is exactly what I wanted, how I wanted, you know, heated seats, heating steering wheel. Like, we're going all out. But yeah, I'm about to be on my Jane. Like, I'm a secret spy. Like, I need the brownstone. Like, I need that New York brownstone. That's the kind of money I'm trying to have, is New York brownstone. Like, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a beautiful house.
And then, did you think that the neighbor was a spy? What was your thoughts on the neighbor? Me too.
When
I was like,
when I saw him, and because I knew that they weren't taking each other out. Like when the cat got killed and all that, I knew that was.
Me too. I knew it wasn't them. Yeah, me too.
So when I saw the pictures of the neighbor's house, I thought that he was the one that was in on it. But he just wanted the house because, yeah, it was a great house.
Yeah, and he knew it was going to sell.
So, but yeah, hopefully season 2 comes quick. They don't take too long, but I did definitely enjoy this.
Yes. So moving into our closing statements, remember, you guys, this is the last week to read. It's the last week to read. I have about 5 hours left on my audiobook, so some ways to go.
I got some ways to go too, but we'll make it work.
Did you start at least?
Yeah, barely.
Okay.
We'll make it work. It's gonna be ready. It's gonna be done.
It's gonna be done.
Yeah.
So that we are gonna be doing. Yep. The Expatriates is the book. Expats is the show, which is on Prime. We're going to be doing both the show and book on next episode on Thursday, March 7th. So make sure you guys finish. And, you know, even if you run a little bit, you can just always watch the episode after we do it, or watch it, then do it. I really feel like there's so many things that happen in these shows and movies that there's no, like, we don't even touch on everything. There's always so much. So like, even if you listen to this, you're not going to lose. Like, it's not like, oh, I can't watch it now, or I can't read it now. So make sure you guys finish doing that. And then I'll let Shawnee tell you what we're watching next week.
Yes. So next week, everything is literally on Netflix. So we have the Vince Staples show, which is super short. You guys can get through that. We have a movie, Waves, which actually isn't a new release, but it was recommended. Waves is also on Netflix. And then Mea Culpa, which I know y'all seen on social media, so we will get into that.
Blowing Up, another TP, another Tyler Perry original.
Yeah. Oh, and as Imani, you said it's next episode. It's the following episode. We have one more in between that they will hear. And
yes, I forgot because we kind of got off schedule, but that's okay. We're still doing it. We're doing the things.
Yes. So again, like always, we just appreciate you guys for listening, watching, whatever y'all do. My therapist is a big fan. I'm glad. Shout out to Avis. If you're listening to this, she listens to them, and I'm just like, oh. But yeah, a lot of people. Again, I gotta get this together of y'all's comments, but I'll do it one day.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it one day, even if it's like it might even be an end of the year. I'm sorry, it might be just that.
We should just do a whole episode just wrapping up. That would be
smart. And I think what I want to do is open up a Cameo for people to record their voices or something. Also,
I've had people ask if
we're voicemail 1 minute.
Yes, they want to be on here as guests too. I've had a couple people ask me that.
We'll make that a summer thing. I don't think that we can handle that right now during the spring, but I think we should definitely aim for that to be summer when we do our rebranding, because we are going to do a rebrand.
I'm barely getting my ass on here.
When I tell you I'm watching like 3, 4, 5 shows at one damn time, it's getting crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm about to binge tonight.
It's getting real crazy.
So yeah, but thank you guys. We got to go to work. Well, I know I got to go to work. You might got more time.
Yeah, I got a little bit of time. I got about an hour. I'm like, should I go back to bed? I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out. But we will see you guys next week, this week, tomorrow. We got, there things are dropping all week this week, and then we'll eventually get back to the once a week thing. So you guys are going to get like 3 this week. Lucky you guys, because you've missed us, I'm sure.
Right.
So everyone have a great week, great day, all of that. We'll see you guys very soon. Bye.
Bye.